It's on. Audacity is on. I'm ready for whenever you guys are ready.
So this right here is Richard, also known online as the Dropped Croissant.
Oh wow, we're going by titles.
You remember that really old meme where the dude drops his croissant?
Yeah, I know.
I think so. Vaguely.
And he hasn't changed his name since. So
no, I have not.
Oh, that's an L.
His online name is the Dropped Croissant.
The Dropped Croissant. Love it. Love it. Welcome to our podcast.
Feel free to introduce yourself however you want.
Oh, well. I'm Richard Von Tersch. There's not much else to say.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I've held you hostage here because I would like to discuss the Jonathing high school arc.
Oh, wonderful.
I never got the full picture, so I'm excited.
Me neither. It's been fucking awful.
Wait, me either. Didn't you live through it? Wait, what?
He disassociated during it.
Oh god. Okay.
I removed myself from my corporeal being.
Oh lord. Well then.
Anyways, I have no idea why my camera's doing this. Like, the whole camera's been tinted yellow. Hold on,
I don't know why you're literally orange. You're literally fucking orange.
Why is it doing that?
You're shrouded in orange.
Okay, I guess I'm a Simpson for this episode.
Aren't they yellow?
I'm a Simpson, yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, welcome to Box Program Thoughts Live, the podcast where men become lovers and the word straight goes to die. How are you doing today, Jonathan? See, I remember to do the intro.
I'm doing pretty good.
I keep forgetting.
It's been a pretty phenomenal day. I'm of course I'm in college. I'm suffering. Every day is the fucking same, but you know, it's honestly pretty good, most of it. So, how are you doing today, Richard?
I'm doing all right. Got all my homework finished. That's a win in my book.
That's a big plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Big W, big W. Anyway, welcome back to the podcast. I think I'm going to leave most of the talking to you two boys today because we're talking about something that you both have experienced, this Jonathing high school arc.
Yeah, feel free to ask whatever questions you want because... but to put a long story short, I was a fucking shithead in high school, but...
Can't confirm.
I'm still a shithead now, but maybe a little bit less. So it doesn't really matter.
If you couldn't tell by my weekly podcast burp.
Oh, fuck off. I hate it.
It's not even like a weekly
here's
podcast.
Our weekly appearance of Jonathing.
Yes,
oh, yeah. This is his...
the HDMI cable again.
Fuck you. Hold on.
Every time he shows up, we need like a studio applause. Like a...
Woo!
We need like a stock sound effect button that we need like one.
Yeah,
of
we
those,
need a soundboard for this man. Every time he shows up.
Oh my god! I will literally buy one just for this podcast.
You're going to rewatch Luca?
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm. It is a good movie. You should see it too at some point.
Okay. Anyways,
we should have him on one of these days for an actual episode.
Yes, we'll have him on for an actual episode, not just as some sort of background character.
Anyway, speaking of background, this podcast actually, at least in part of the name, got inspired by that program Thoughts video, and that was actually about the Jonathing high school arc.
Yeah. I'll talk about that.
So this episode was bound to happen.
When did I want to look this up real quick because it's been so long. But I made
it was like 2018.
I made the program Thoughts video when I was like, to put it simply, I was down bad.
Whoa, wait, what? I didn't know that.
Richard knows the story, and I invite you to share what you would like.
Tell me this shit from start to finish.
About Jonathing being down bad.
It was not a good time.
Jonathing and down bad. Those words don't go together.
This was when I was down. This was when I was down bad after I broke up with my first girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was awful. See, I got the other side of that because she immediately rebound crushed.
I know. Okay, yeah, it was a really shitty experience.
That was generally less than perfectly ideal.
Take it away. So involved. Wait. Keep talking. I'll be back.
All right.
He has wireless headphones. He'll probably hear the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah, keep talking.
I made that video, and I was like, Because the thing is like, especially in my early years of high school, I was so naive. Like it was actually like fucking like impeccable. My ego was still massive, but like even more so back then because I was like everyone just kind of like I didn't really understand the whole concept of being self-serving, something that I totally am now.
Jonathan has grown, but only grown in being an asshole.
Yes, of course. And always.
The greatest personal development arc.
But yeah,
no, you were a little
that was
naive baby.
That was insane because what happened was okay. So to put it simply, like looking back on it, like good God, we were both 15-year-olds and it was really shitty, but like we were just not a good fit at all. So to put it simply,
I could not.
It did not work out. But the thing is that like we were on good terms for a few days after, but then you got involved.
I literally didn't want any of this. I had no idea. I barely knew you existed at the.
So
okay, actually,
we didn't. We weren't even that good of friends at all.
So rewind.
I had just gone through.
Rewind.
Rewind.
Where does this start? What's the beginning? And then what's
okay, Jonathan, you start your relationship.
Yeah, I start my relationship with this chick.
Name him. Name. Drop it now.
I don't like name dropping. I really don't like name dropping because because we were all in high school. We're all so different now. So I really don't like name dropping, especially people from high school.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah, but long story short, it didn't work out. Because we were both so fucking naive. But the thing that makes this whole story so. The reason why it was so like traumatizing for me is because like she did this complete 180 on you.
Oh, so I had not a clue how it started with Jonathan. First time I met Jonathan was Algebra 2 summer school.
Algebra 2, yeah, we'll talk about that too.
That was a fun time. I didn't know you were with. I don't even think I really knew her at the time.
I don't think so either.
No, I only knew her because
this was 20. I want to say 2017, but what? I'm not too sure.
So I was making those little stupid videos. You were doing this shit. Is that why you're so fucking depressed? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
So you're telling me you wouldn't get on like 10 minutes earlier because you were fucking mauling about some bitch?
Yes! Yes, I was! That's exactly... Dude, I was 15 years old. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Thought, bro. I already hate her, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Yeah. No, I have no idea what on earth happened between you two. I just remember, I remember you walking through the hallways looking like someone just shot your parents. And then she just walks up to me crying, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Jesus.
I actually... Here's the funny thing. So I want to make this clear before we talk anymore. Is that my memory from like the midpoint of the second year of high school, from that point on, it's so foggy. Like, it really is. Like, because I only have clear memory from the second part of high school onward, because that's when I actually started being a character and not being this stupid little shit who just did whatever the hell he wanted. But it's so weird to look back on, because like every time I look back on it, it's like, what the fuck even happened? Because I don't even know what went through any of our heads. Except for you. You were just like
I was so confused. I was I don't know. I don't really know this person, but I don't want to see somebody like in pain and crying. And I was like, I was all right friends with you at the time. Didn't really know you too much because we more like met and did stuff during sophomore and then also junior year with AP Music Theory.
Yeah, that's another.
That is another thing.
That's another arc of the high school saga.
No, so I just remember.
My This motherfucker just gets popcorn.
I never got the backstory ever, so if this is what I'm getting at, then let's be prepared.
Oh my gosh!
Like I said, for this story in particular, I'm trying to rely on Richard because like my memory is so bad.
I fucking burnt some of this shit. Can you believe that? Anyway,
but all I remember was being really, really angry because you did this 180 onto you. Like 3 days after we broke up or some stupid shit.
Dude, I was just trying to like be a decent friend to this person. And like I think at the time didn't you already like someone else at the same time? Or was that later? At that time, no. At that time, I did like someone else. Yeah.
God, so it was a fucking mess.
But
it was a mess.
Like oh gosh, I remember. What was it?
Homecoming. This is like the main driving force about why I made that fucking video on my channel.
So why did you break up?
Because I was so depressed. I was an angsty teen.
Wait, you ended it?
No.
Or did she end? Wait, I'm confused.
No, she ended it. I'm pretty sure I would have ended it at some point or another myself, but I was like so fucking naive that I was like, what do I do? So
what the fuck happened?
Little baby.
What the fuck happened?
Oh my god, it was so fucking.
Go on, spill what happened, Jonathan. I don't know the full details of your relationship. I didn't try to pry into that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because it's like I said, it's so foggy. But like the one thing I remember is that like, and I feel like this could probably go for a lot of like relationships in general, not just romantic, but also just in general. Is that like we had a really good chemistry talking in person, but the moment we tried to convey opinions to each other over text message, it got really heated very fast.
Oof.
We just did not agree on anything, and I was like, and because back when I was still in my first 2 years of high school, my autism was like still fucking through the roof. I was saying some shit that I really should not have been, and that kind of added to it too.
It happens.
That was probably why the memory is still awful, because like I had no control over that as well. So
you were quite cringe.
I was cringe and autistic. Very. I'm still cringe today, but like, good God, it was so much worse. And like the main reason why I didn't want to. The main reason why I didn't get on calls with some of my older friends is because I didn't want to talk about this shit.
Fair enough.
It's embarrassing, dude. Like I'm fucking laughing right now because I'm looking back and I was like, what the fuck did I do for any of this to happen? This is so stupid. This is like literally high school drama. I mean, it was high school.
It was high school drama.
That's exactly what this was.
Yeah.
And I still get mad at myself to this day because I was like, I was so fucking. I let my mental state crumble because of this. Like that's unacceptable to me. So, but I was really angry because I'm still like if you have like a change in your life, you kind of need time to adapt to it. But what she did was that she did a complete 180 after 3 days and started hitting on Richard.
Damn.
That was a big oof.
These thoughts, man.
Anyway. And the whole time too, I was angry at the girl, but I honestly just felt bad for Richie because I was like, what the fuck is happening? I just felt bad. I was like, oh my god.
That was a balancing act there of trying to be like, okay, I don't want to like shatter this person and their heart, but I also don't want to give them any inclination.
She was such a type, especially in high school, to be so self-destructive. Like, it was insane.
It was,
and I mean, I was too. But like, good God, everything about that experience was just really shitty. And I wish I could say more about it, but my memory is just so clouded from that era because, you know, fucking autism, unironically.
Well, I wouldn't be too fucking hard on yourself because, like you said, you were going through that, had like a shitty fucking mental state. You had shit that was holding you down, so I wouldn't just completely blame yourself.
So going back to the topic of the original programmed thoughts video, right? That video, I don't want to call it a video of me saying, "Oh, I'm down bad, feel sorry for me, I'm gonna kill myself." No, I'm not suicidal, by the way. It's not gonna happen. It was more of, guys, I need a second opinion on what the fuck is happening, because I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's happening. I just feel like a fucking piece of shit in high school, and you know what I was? I was always sad. I always like put myself down, mentally, emotionally. So that video was just, and it got such a positive response. I wasn't expecting, and like even still to this day, the last time I called Jacob or Arcane, he said you should make a part 2 to that video, and everyone said make a part 2 to that video. It would be really fitting now because it's my second year of college. It would be like a retrospective, except the entire retrospective would be me just saying I was a fucking stupid idiot back then. Please ignore that entire video. Good God. Please.
Well, we all make fucking mistakes. We all fucking gross people. So like I said, don't fucking blame yourself anymore. Just try to let it go.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I've moved on. It's been like 4 years. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
Fucking hell. Like, I've already like way moved on past that. And the thing that helped me that was honestly getting more into music. Not because music is still a coping mechanism for me today because like having a creative outlet, we talked about this last episode. Having a creative outlet for me has always been a help because I get to put my focus onto something I really enjoy. And
yeah.
And that ended up being a gift from God for me. Like, it was just by random chance. It could have been video editing, it could have been drawing, but no, it had to be music. So I just write music now. But oh my fucking God, I'm so sorry.
Tone is gone. The tone of the podcast has just been deleted.
Shattered.
God. You were saying?
I was saying, what the fuck was I saying?
You forgot to.
I was saying that music was a coping mechanism, and it still kind of is today for, some of the shitty parts of life that everyone has to go through. But the thing is that like I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think I asked myself, would I change how that whole interaction played out? Except for the part where she hit on Richard, probably not, because it was such a huge learning experience for me. Like, it taught me to be aware of what other people think. It taught me to be aware of, did you account for this and that, and make sure that you've also accounted what you think into it as well. To integrate more circumstantial thoughts into the scenario, instead of just going gun blazing, thinking I can do whatever the fuck I want, because that was my mentality. That was also part of the reason why I made such. That's the part of the reason why my editing was so shit in those grilled cheese gaming videos, because I didn't give a damn about how it looked.
Oh, like with video pad and shit?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Richard, for context, in middle school, I was part of this channel called Grilled Cheese Gaming, and I will send a video later through DMs, but if there was one word I could use to describe any of those videos, it would be maximum 2 words. Maximum autism. I say this in the most joking way, but also in the most serious way. Like, you could tell that I needed special ed. Like, it was like my language level was not higher than a 5th grader in special ed at the time. It was really bad.
Oof.
Dear Lord. Oh Lord. Well, I mean, I can't.
I'm telling you this now because I am not that person from 8th grade. Please.
No, you've grown.
If I was that person from 8th grade, listen. If I was that person from 8th grade, I'd be Bob.
Oh no! Oh gosh!
Wait, like the basketball
guy? Bob, yeah.
Basketball Bob.
Do you still talk to him?
Occasionally, and he's a good person. He really is, but he does not think before he goes guns blazing. That's exactly how I thought in 8th grade. Before that event happened in high school that changed my perspective. He goes guns blazing. I always think before I decide on something big or something, even like small things nowadays.
I like 2 interactions with him. Like the first time it was like okay, like I like made a few jokes. It was just like we like filmed the video together, and he did that whole like no cursing shit. So I was just like honestly, like
I'm gonna
in the video as a joke. And then the second interaction, we were filming something for our channel or something like that, and he just started like purposely like sabotaging it, I think.
Yeah, and I know sometimes...
I don't know why he did that, but...
Sometimes Bob watches these podcasts, and I'm not going to leave this part out. Bob, if you're watching, I think you're a great person. Please just think a bit more before you do things, because, like, I'm going to be real. When I especially, not much today, but especially in high school when I saw you, the first thing that came to my mind was my cringy, out-of-touch 8th grade self. That had no self-awareness and went guns blazing and wanted everything his way. So
we talk about Jonathing and we wind up roasting Bob.
Is this going to be the first drop of the podcast? I hope so. I mean, shit, that'd be so much. That'd be views, man.
I always tell people what I think to their faces. I've never had that start drama before because it's always the people who are cool with it. But I have no idea if Bob's gonna be cool with this. So I hope you're okay with this, Bob. But please, just think. That's all.
That's good. I mean, since you guys don't talk like that anymore, I mean, if you want to get that through to him, maybe this is the best way.
Probably,
because it'll resonate with him. I don't fucking know, but I mean, I hope it does.
I try to be as real as I can with all my friends, which is, and the reason why I don't talk about these past events is because they are not a good reflection of who I am today. Because if you went back to, first of all, if I went back to 8th grade, I would have bullied the hell out of my 8th grade self. I would have been so fucking relentless, physically and mentally. Like, honestly.
Same, literally.
But the thing is that, like, they're not a good reflection of myself, because if you were to talk to my 8th grade self, I would not have told you what I thought to your face. And that's something, I do that nowadays because I want to be clear with what I think to other people, because otherwise, how is anything going to work? That's just how I operate now.
If one of your friends is doing something and they really need to hear something, then the best thing you can do is fucking tell them that, like, what they need to hear. Otherwise, like, it's only going to keep hurting them if they're acting in a self-destructive or a destructive way.
That's literally exactly why this whole debacle happened. And like I said, except for the part where she was hitting on Richard, I'm not glad that it happened, but I'm appreciative that I get to take this opportunity to better myself. It's around this point where I started building my, quote unquote character, right? It was the beginning of the Jonathing development arc, where my appearance did not change and my voice did not change, but hopefully I changed.
I love that.
Yeah, no, all the growth happened inside.
All the growth happened inside. It was all inner. My voice was the same. I had the same voice in 8th grade, which is why I'm scared to shit that if any of my 8th grade friends finds me, they're going to think I haven't had any development at all. And that honestly scares me, because I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Why the fuck do you sound the same? I don't even want to.
I sound the same.
We have this conversation every time.
I literally.
It just doesn't change.
I had this. I've had this DM with my friend Bailey, and I've known him since the summer after I graduated middle school. And he's aware of. I've never talked to him about it, but he's aware of this. He's like, because we made fun of this dude named Gamer Geek, and like his voice went down like mega octave. So like he put in the message Gamer Geek's voice and like the down emoji, and Jonathan's voice, the ruler emoji.
L voice, dude. Like, I can tell that your like vocal mannerisms have definitely changed over the years, but
my manner of speech is very different.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't say that I am professional, but I think my manner of speech is probably a bit more professional than others are.
Than the average.
Because
person,
I don't use slang that much. I don't use acronyms that much, except for LMAO and LOL.
Those are the best ones. What can I say?
And like I rarely use emojis, and the ones I do are like the meme emojis on Discord, like the sunglasses. The cool sunglasses. Like I have no idea how you do that face.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm actually on the opposite side of that coin, honestly. Like, I love bringing up, like, my past self, because I get to show how much I've changed, honestly. Like, I have that same mentality, but I like showing it, because I can show people how much, like, how different I am now.
That's an interesting mindset to have. I've never thought that way, because it's always so embarrassing. Whenever
I've changed
that's why I never show any of my friends the grilled cheese gaming videos, because they're all so terrible.
I show, eventually, one of the things that I have in my, like, checkbook, in my notes list, whenever I get a girlfriend, I always end up showing them at some time or another some of the TIH videos, because I get to show them like where my passion for like editing and shit started and how different I was back then. Because I mean, I get it for you, but I sounded completely fucking different back then. So I mean, there's like a visual aspect to like the change. I
could show someone a video from me of 8th grade. They asked me they asked me, when did you record this? And they were thinking, oh, like probably fucking last year or something.
Oh,
but no,
hell
I was like fucking. It was during the times when you were still a midget.
Yeah, literally. And now I'm like, what? How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'11".
How tall are you, Richard?
6'2" or 3, somewhere in there. I think 6'2".
Fuck you gonna do? Fuck you gonna do? Don't fuck with me. Alright, so
I got next up in the Jonathing High School saga, we have the Algebra 2 summer class. Now,
oh yeah, that was wild time.
It was pretty wild, but it was also a pretty huge event for me because what the fuck is that?
It's a katana umbrella. I got it on like Shein or something.
I thought this man was waving around like those toilet plungers.
Wait, what? Wait, hold
like
on.
You know, like the plungers with the black casing, so you don't like whip your shit water everywhere. Like that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, this is a katana umbrella I got for like $15.
Oh, nice.
Man.
Money well fucking spent. All right. Anyway, let's.
So the Algebra 2 summer class was really impactful for me because it allowed me to be a bit more energetic with how I thought and how I interacted with others, because it's really easy for me to interact with others nowadays because I don't have to put on a facade to tell them what I think.
Yeah.
It was a huge problem for me my first year of high school because I was so afraid of, being that fucking, like, stupid kid in the corner who gets picked on, even though it's, like, a stereotype in fucking manga and cartoons. Quiet kid. Even though it's, like, a really cartoonish stereotype, like, that was a genuine fear of mine because, I was, like, 14, 15 years old. Yeah, but then you interact with real people growing up, and you understand that they have similar, if not the same, stupid-ass thoughts that you do, and they're also fucked in the head. So that builds camaraderie, and that's how I became better friends with Richard.
Yeah.
So Richard, since you're our guest, man, like give your side of the story.
All right.
I don't know what side he has to give other than the trauma that he's endured.
Summer school, I remember walking in there, and I had the only time I remember interacting with Jonathing was I saw him a few times at the concerts, and I also remember at the awards when he got Most Improved. And I remember when he got Most Improved, I said, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, keep going.
But I walked in there, and I remember I didn't really know too much of anybody except for Sean, because Sean was in my biology class, and I knew Meg, and I knew Princess a little bit, but I didn't really talk with her. Oh, I'm name dropping.
These are all names, Jonathing. And we're not roasting them, so I'll probably keep them in. But oh well.
We'll see.
No. We'll see.
Well, I will. Whoopsies. What the fuck kind of a name is Princess? I will. Is that like a nickname?
No, that was her actual name.
Oh, no, that was her actual name. Bleep that then if you want, if you so choose.
I don't care.
Yeah. No, I remember going in there and not really knowing too much of anybody. And I remember, it was you, Sean pulled you, and then Suggs, who I also vaguely knew, and, pulled all of us into that group. So then I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to be with these guys now. And I thought they were all a little bit weird. But I was like, I'm weird, so this is whatever. I mean, we come to school every day, and Sean's watched a new My Little Ponies episode going on about it.
I'm going to just take a shot at here and say that's probably not a joke, is it?
No, it's not!
It's not!
Oh, okay.
For the record, he's grown out of that phase, but it was it was really funny. No. It was very funny.
So it was genuine? He was ironically watching it?
It was it's weird because it was both ironic and unironic at the same time. It was like a Schrodinger's cat sort of thing.
But like, there's a piece of it that's unironic.
There's a piece of it that's unironic. There's a piece of it that's unironic, and that's what makes it so hilarious.
Yeah.
I feel like since we're here, keep talking. There's this particular video that I'm gonna pull up that I think needs some explaining. Keep going.
No. So that was a fun time. We just kind of went there and acted like idiots, but we got work done. And then I remember my food poisoning, Jonathan.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
It was because it was summer school. We had 13 days, so we could only afford to miss a single day. And my parents at that time were like the parents who were like, literally, they were like, if you're vomiting up blood, you still go to school. And I say that because I literally vomited up blood, and they still said to go to school.
Jesus.
So I couldn't eat food. I couldn't drink water. I couldn't do anything. And like every hour, I'd have to go like try to throw up, but I couldn't. That was a wild time. And they just made fun of me the whole time, which is great.
Yeah, we did.
Damn. Jeez. Damn.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I was like ruthless. I mean, I still am, but like, there was a time we'll get to later, but like Richard had this like panic attack that was so severe it was essentially a seizure, and then. The thing about this is that the day before, our friend Sean had posted in our group chat, "Have a stroke."
Oh shit!
And the day after, I just started making fun of it.
Yeah, no, it's a good friendship we have.
We live in the camaraderie of our inhumaneness.
Fair enough. So, anyway, speaking of which, I found the video.
All right.
So, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah, let's see this.
Let's see what this is.
Don't get me in it.
Oh, this shit. Okay. I have to explain this, don't I?
You have some explaining to do.
I have to explain this, don't I? Okay.
I was kind of repressing it at first, but like now that I think about it, looking back on it, you were a band kid. Like, look at the evidence is right here.
All right. Yeah, that's Bob. That's Bob dabbing.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Bob. We love you, but just Bob dabbing and
edit that out and make that the image for the thumbnail.
I'll put it like next to Richard laughing or something.
Oh yeah. Make that like really tiny.
I'll put it next to Richard, but yeah. Okay, so let me. Okay, so we'll jump in the timeline and we'll talk about the music production club. So the music production club, to put it, I'm gonna stop watching the stream now so we can get the cameras back in the video.
So end stream.
To put it simply, the music production club was basically an excuse for me to get away from people.
Oh.
At this time, how do I say this? In our class, the female students were less than ideal. I don't know how do I put this, right? They were causing issues.
What kind of issues?
They were causing drama between themselves and drama between some of us.
Ooh.
I wasn't personally involved, right? But it was so overwhelming that one of the seniors, this isn't the reason why one of the seniors made the club, but one of the seniors announced one day at the end of classes through announcements, if you want to join the music production club, come to the band room, or come to the choir room. And I thought to myself, I kind of like music production. I kind of want to make music. I'm not too sure about it yet, but I kind of want to make music. And there's all this shit going on that I want nothing to do with. So I just ran to the band room that day. I fucking ran out of there. I did not want to deal with any of this shit. And there's so much shit that happened. I don't even know if I'm allowed to bring it up here because it's actually, some of it is like extreme. And some of it is
to dodge all that.
Some of it is kind of extreme. I used a lot of dodgy words. I dodged a lot of details that I don't know that I'm allowed to get into, but it was kind of extreme. So the music production club is basically was basically a losers club.
Oh damn!
It's basically a losers
See, that's
club.
why I was part of it, but never actually went because I was too busy going to chess club.
Because he actually had shit to do.
Oh, so you weren't in that video? Or
he was not in that video, but he was part of that club.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
And that club mostly comprised of people from the band in that school, and we were all so fucking hyper, and that's where that video originated from. So basically, what happened was this kid, he took out his recorder and started blowing into the fucking microphone, like staccato style, and we just edited it to make it the most like compressed and bass boosted fucking horrendous thing possible, and we would just fucking laugh. It was basically a massive coping mechanism.
So you were a band kid.
Yeah, no,
I was a band kid. I wasn't like actually in band. I was in orchestra because I'm a violinist. So
okay,
but so we weren't much better.
You were one level above the band kids.
Yeah, I was one level above the band kids, right? We were better than the band kids. No shade, but we were better than the band kids.
I got a question for you. So if the band kids are here and the orchestra is right here, where are the drama kids at?
So the drama kids are in their own separate pocket dimension because the drama kids, they live in their own circle away from us. The instrumentalists feel superior because they're instrumentalists.
What am I to you, Jonathan? What was?
You were a piece of shit. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding. But the way generally was, right? With the exception of my friend Richard here, who would constantly harass us, is the instrumentalists felt superior because they never interacted with the drama kids. And the drama kids felt superior because they actually were.
Oh, so they were. Oh, so they're up here, band, orchestra.
Yeah, drama. but they still lived in their own separate reality because what they did wasn't necessarily. What they did wasn't like. They were still insane. They had these same.
No, I'd have to say there was thresholds in the drama. There were the decent drama kids.
The drama kids had their own hierarchy as well.
I see.
Because we have the music hierarchy, which is band kid, orchestra kid, and then we had the drama hierarchy, which is everyone else, and then Madison and Richard.
That's a bit too. You forgot about choir kids in there, which were obviously better than band kids or orchestra kids because we actually got to go to the National Gallery of Art.
The choir kids were better than the band and orchestra kids, but that's because there were more good people in the choir than there were in the band or orchestra. Like just in terms of musical talent. But when I talked to my music teacher, like when I talked to her about this, she said that. I'm going to assume this is because after we left the school, everything went to shit. But the choir kids were the most disobedient.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. There's just a lot of reasons why that happened.
So that answers that question. But before we go back to the timeline of the Algebra 2 class, I wanted to bring up this event. And it's called the Mouse in the Locker Room event.
Oh, God. I can already imagine.
Don't you mean the mouse in the tuba?
Yeah, I'm talking about the mouse in the tuba. So, this kid who played tuba, I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to get all the details right, but just know that this story I'm about to say is at least 75% accurate. This kid gets his tuba to play for band. And I think he either was about to play or he was cleaning the tuba. When all of a sudden this fucking rat mouse just fucking crawled out of the tuba and ran away. And the kid was traumatized. He was like, fuck. Holding this tuba as this mouse was and it's disgusting inside a tuba because the brass people, they spit in their instruments and it's full of their spit. So this mouse is covered in what is most likely this kid's spit running off into the distance.
Oh, fucking jeez.
And this mouse probably lived inside this goddamn locker because in this same locker, there were cookie crumbs.
Jesus. Kids would eat their food and just leave their
They would leave their food in their band locker, which was gross. So that's probably how the mouse got in there in the first place.
You didn't get the best of it. So we had this wonderful accompanist at the time. who would be accompanying.
So she was great.
Yeah, no, she was great. So they were going and like getting ready, and like band was goofing off as normal, and I think the kid was trying to like play his tuba, but it wasn't playing, so he went in to like clean it out and saw the pair of eyes, freaked out, dropped the tuba. The rat flew out of the tuba right towards the piano, and the pianist literally leapt onto the piano to dodge the rat.
Some band kid shit.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's that event. So Algebra 2 class happened. And then after that...
Nice intermission.
Yeah, after that, there's the intermission of summer. After that begins the... I don't know if I told you about this, Richard, but when in my sophomore year of high school, after the first month, I decided, hey, this honors English class is not working for me. Just because I'm a shit learner. I'm really bad at English. I'm really bad at literature. And you know, the dude who was teaching it, the helicopter dad that I'll get into later, he was honestly pretty good at what he did, but it was not working for me. At least from the other smart kids, he was pretty good at what he was doing, but it was not working for me. So I decided to switch. And the only one that worked on my schedule was this one class. It was 4B, but the gimmick was that it was an all boys English advanced class. So I had to transfer into this all boys 3B history advanced class. I want to say right off the bat that this is probably one of the best choices I ever made in my entire life, because that class was a blast. It was great because there was only 12 people in that class. So we all got to have a camaraderie between us. We got to share a lot of our experiences more because it was a smaller class, and you know, the high school girls weren't there to interfere with what we had to say.
True.
It was great because, you know, the history teacher at the time, he spoke his mind about everything. It was unhinged. It was great. And at the time we also had as our English teacher, and that was a very, very, very chaotic duo. It was great because I got to not only speak to a bunch of people that I've never really spoken to before, like I guess Sebastian is one of them probably, because we spoke a little bit beforehand, but I never actually got to, you know, learn him know him as a person. So I got to meet all these new people, and we all thought similarly, even though all the circumstances were like, well, fuck, this is all really shitty. This is, you know, at least for me, it was at the time, because, you know, this was right after this really fucking awful, terrible, funny thing we just talked about.
Tuba.
No. This is after Richard got hit on by my ex-girlfriend.
This is after that,
you know, in terms of bad things, you know, getting dumped and having your ex-girlfriend immediately go after another guy and a rat in a tuba, they're about equal.
Looking back on them, they are, but I was traumatized at the time.
Oh, so. Well, the dude jumped onto the piano is clearly something traumatic.
Well, that dude was traumatized, but everyone else thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious, and I wasn't even there.
Oh, so that was great. That was honestly another character building moment for me. And then the next year, I took AP Music Theory. Now, I have spoken a lot about AP Music Theory to my friends. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, my good friend, my lifelong friend, Barry Matthias.
What's up?
But AP Music Theory was essentially the class that got me into music, like, full time.
Oh, so this is where it started.
This is where it started. And before I continue, I just remembered this, and I'm so sorry I forgot until this now, Richard, but he mentioned something about a Most Improved Award. So I'd like to talk about that for a second. I picked up the violin in 4th grade, but because I was so autistic that I didn't even know what I was doing. It was severe before middle school, like low end, like I was like a lost cause. I was like, by most doctors, I was a lost cause, right?
Jesus.
So I tried picking up the violin, and it didn't go too well. But it was in elementary school, so I could get away with like playing nothing but D, F sharp, and A for like a concert. Who cares? But by the time I got into high school, I was like mostly recovered. So I tried picking up the violin again because I had faint memories of like, oh, this is pretty fun. So I picked up my violin again, and I tried playing it, and I was like, what the fuck do you do? I had no idea what I was doing. And for the auditions, every I don't know if it's every semester or every year, but every semester there's an audition for placement at the school orchestra. And the only thing you're gonna have no idea what this means because this is like heavy music. Oh my fucking god, this is like heavy music terminology.
Fuck.
That only Richard and like some other viewers might get. But the only thing I could do was like play a single octave D major scale, and all of it was flat. Every single note was flat by at least a semitone.
Jeez.
Except for DNA because they were open strings. Everything was flat. All of my fingers were off.
Oh lord.
So understandably, I got placed at the very back in front of.
Man. In front of.
Which out of 15 violins, I was number 13, which was kind of scary because I did a very shitty D major scale and I didn't get dead last, which means that I'm.
Well, that sounds good.
So every spring semester, there's a musical that the drama kids put up. And a couple of the instrumentalists are invited, or, they volunteer, to perform in the pit orchestra. For those who don't know, the pit orchestra is essentially the orchestra that plays the music for the musical. Behind the scenes, usually there's like a pit orchestra under the stage. Like if you go to the Kennedy Center or Broadway or literally anywhere, it's like under the stage. That's where the pit is. That's where the musicians are. But for us, because we were a budget Catholic school where the administrators didn't care about music at all, we were behind the set. And it was really crowded.
Jesus.
But it was great because I was given the music packet, and it was some of the, at the time, this music would be a breeze for me now, but at the time, it was some of the hardest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like, there was like stuff in like different positions, and I was still playing it first at the time, because I didn't know what I was doing. Thankfully, there were like 2 other violins there that backed me up, including Isaac, Thank you.
Obvious, but bless.
Isaac the G.
Isaac's a G, and I'll talk about Isaac a bit later. Maybe I'll show this podcast episode to him. But Isaac's a G.
Do it, views.
Yeah, views. but the great thing about pit orchestra is that it forced me to learn to get better, and I didn't take violin seriously until like around pit started, when I was like, this could actually kind of work. I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. I'm still like playing with A and D because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So I asked my mom, hey, I'm starting to really like this. Can I get a private teacher? So I get a private teacher, and his name's Chris. There's a lot of people named Chris, so I'm okay with saying that.
Oh Lord, Chris.
His name's Chris, and he was ruthless. This dude was a madman. But he is also one of the greatest teachers I've ever had in my life because he told me straight up what I needed to do. He didn't sugarcoat anything like a lot of music teachers do. They like to sugarcoat your faults. He just said, "Hey, your F sharp's really fucking low. You got to raise that second finger or something like that. Watch your perfect fits. All this random shit." And one thing that I was doing and this is why I got the most improved award, because it was like a simple change of technique. This was all that got me this, right? I was holding my left hand like this. And so I couldn't even move my fingers to the right spot, which is why every note of the D scale was flat. Because I could barely even move them at all. So he taught me to hold my violin properly like this. This isn't like the exact position because I'm not actually holding the instrument. But he told me to hold it properly like this. And immediately everything was like, not exactly in tune, but like a lot better. And Mrs. King had noted that, because I was the only person in the entire orchestra who decided to go out of their way to get a private teacher. Because I was actually, I had taken interest in what I was doing, so she gave me that award. That was it.
Sick.
No, I remembered that because I remember at the beginning of the year
I was terrible at the
violin. This is a dead cat. Like it You hear of like the jokes about violence sound like dying cats.
Before my grandmother on my mother's side passed away. When she heard me play violin, she would always tell my parents that I sounded like a fucking dead cat. Always.
You really did. But then after that year, I mean, you didn't sound fantastic.
Honestly, like,
but I was like, dang, he actually sounds like a violin.
Yeah, God rest her soul. But honestly, I would have like fucking laughed at her fucking face if she was still alive today. I was like, hey, see where I'm in college for music. Fuck you.
Well, damn, that took a turn.
I mean, she was right.
She was
at the
right.
time.
And I mean, like, and she also helped me with my Spanish. I don't speak too much Spanish now because, you know, it's too much of a fucking hassle with computer science and music. But I still know a good amount because I hear my parents speak it all the time. Like, I know the language. It's just I have no practice speaking it because I don't live in Spain or Venezuela. Oh my god, this has got to stop. This has got to stop.
Spanish. Yeah, and also that needs to stop. Otherwise, you're off the fucking show. I'll get someone else.
See, no, that's Jonathan's actual second language is burping.
Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
So because
do it again and you're off the show. We'll replace you. We'll get someone else.
To make a long story short, the whole reason why I got full time into music was because Mrs. King was stroking my ego so hard.
Jeez.
And when but the thing is that like if she didn't do that, I wouldn't have taken AP Music Theory, which is where I learned my actual gift was in writing music. Because
AP Music Theory is great.
Still not. I still can't perform for shit. I'm a shit performer. Like even though I've gotten a lot better, I still can't perform for shit. But I think I've got a good handle on writing music.
You can.
And I've been able to get into college for it, right?
You can create better than.
I think my ego's a bit justified in that sense.
Yeah, no, like that's just how it is with art. Like sometimes you're better at planning or writing, having the ideas rather than actually.
And I mean, it's like it's probably genetic too, because like no one in my family was a musician except for my great grandfather on my father's side, who wrote band music in Venezuela. I didn't even know he existed until my father was like, "Oh, you know my grandfather wrote music," and I was like, "Bro."
Damn. It's in the fucking bloodline.
It's in the bloodline, and I plan on keeping it.
Except it hasn't been in the family since like 14.
It hasn't. Yeah, it skipped like 3 generations somehow. So that's my endeavor in music. And AP Music Theory, in the same sense of Music Production Club, was also like a safe haven for me because the only people who took AP Music Theory are people who are fucked in the head like me and Richard.
Damn.
Everyone in that class was like pretty much like ironically and unironically like act mentally insane because we all did music theory, and you know the trend with composers is that they're all insane, and I like to keep that trend.
That goes
you
for
could,
all
you could
artists.
rate the insanity of each person by how high their score was. The higher your score, the more crazy you were. The lower you were,
on
the
the
more
AP
sane.
exam, except for one exception which I don't want to talk about because you know he's a bit insane, but. You could rate everyone's insanity by their score on the AP Music Theory exam. Most people got a 3, which is like, you know, pretty sane. What'd you get, Richard? Was it a 3 or a 4?
I got a 4.
So Richard got a 4. He was a bit more insane than the rest. Clearly fucked in the head, but you know, he still has some salvation left in him. I got a 5.
So you're full blown.
I am
insane.
Beyond salvation, right? This is it for me. So I decided, why not just, you know, I've been programming for a bit, but why not just give in to this unsalvation and, you know, just start writing music full-time for college. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm writing music full-time for college. And the great thing about AP Music Theory was because I was surrounded by, I don't know if I want to say like-minded people. We all definitely had different, you know, stances on things, but like we all had similar ways of thinking. It was good to be around them because I had a tough time in high school, you know, trying to surround myself with people that thought differently.
Yeah.
So it was a good experience, and it also helped me improve my character because you know, dealing with people just basically everything from you know the point from where Richard got hit on by my ex-girlfriend. That point on was just you know. It was skyrocket for me because that's when I realized, oh, what I'm doing is fucking awful. I'll just see if I can improve myself from that angle.
I noticed that 2 years later,
Richard,
in 2019.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Oh yeah, thank you for making him better. Thank you for making him not this as much of a fuckwit anymore. Appreciate you for that one.
Don't worry, I try my hardest to improve him. There's a lot of work to go.
Yeah, and like, I want to say, like, you know, Rich has helped me through a lot, and I've confided with him for a lot of things. Some things I do definitely regret, but other things that were just so minuscule that they didn't mean anything.
Do you regret crying underneath a desk?
I regret crying at all. Yeah, that was.
Wait,
what? That's another down bad story.
We didn't talk about that story. Let me get the popcorn, bro. Continue.
That's another down bad story, but it wasn't because my ex-girlfriend started hitting on Richard. It was just because I had no confidence in myself. And that was it.
No, he was just down bad, lacked confidence, and then other girls.
Like I asked the girl out my senior year, and I got rejected. But at that point, I was like, you know what? I didn't have much to lose. I was able to cope with it.
What?
No, it took a while.
What happened your senior year?
I had a crush on a girl my sophomore year, and then I had the same crush on her my senior year. The difference is that my sophomore year I was a little piece of shit who had no confidence, and my senior year I was actually able to say, you know what, I don't have too much to lose. I'll just see what happens. Because the main point isn't I was down bad and I had a crush on a girl. The point was what am I going to do with this huge change that has happened mentally? How am I going to cope with that? How am I going to take action from here? What's going to happen in the future? And how can I take into account what I think and what other people think as well? That was the difference. Because by the time I was a senior in high school, like everyone, I was thinking more like an adult. I knew how to deal with these kinds of situations.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I'm the greatest person ever, because I'm really not. I'm really not a great person, and I don't think people should generally follow my example when it comes to most things like advice related, right? Because I have my own way of dealing with things, but at this point in my life, I can say that I have enough confidence in myself and what I do, and I know where to improve on to better myself for the future, which is something I did not have my sophomore year in high school, which is why I was crying under the bed. That's all it is.
Happens to the best of us.
It does. And Richard just knows how to hide his emotions, and I didn't.
Well, in high school, I would just go to the bathroom and cry. You're good. I mean, good on you. You were public about it. Fuck. Like, I would go to the bathroom. No, I was not.
I literally only told Richard. Why would I be public about something that fucking embarrassing?
He had no idea what to do, and I was literally the only person he could talk to. He said as much to me. He was like,
he was the only person I could talk to, because if I thought, and this probably wasn't true, but I thought if I told anyone else that my reputation as like someone who doesn't give a fuck about anything would just drop, or as like a person in general.
Oh, fuck no, bro. We all have emotions. We all have fucking bits and pieces of ourselves that sometimes need to be expressed. Because we fucking feel things. I'm basically just describing emotions.
But I've gotten better. I've gotten better at judging my character, like how I view myself and how I think other people probably view me. And I may seem like an ass, but I really try not to be, especially around people who don't know who the hell I am. So
yeah.
Otherwise, I would go nowhere in life. Like imagine I go to a job interview. Imagine I go to a job interview and I walk in and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, bitches? How's it going, everyone?" Just like.
Bruh. But like you said, I mean, you can always just get better. I don't see you declining as a person ever. At this point, I think you can only go up from here.
The difference with Matthias is that, like, especially in like the early days of our podcast, I needed to drag Richard in here because I already confided with him about my character development. But like you were already like really public about your character development. I just think it's all really embarrassing because it's not an apt view of who I am today. I said this before.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to talk about this shit because, like, I don't want people to see what I've done in the past and be like, wow, this kid's, like, really fucking stupid, which I am, but...
Nah, because, like...
I made Luigi in Smash Bros, like...
But no, like, if you want to fucking... You gotta realize that, like, yeah, like, you did all that stuff, but that's in the past. Like, everyone's fucking changed, so, like... We've all changed in 5 years, 6 years, however long it's been. You can't hold yourself... accountable. Well, you can, but like you can't hold yourself to the same level you did back then, because you've changed so much and you're not even that person anymore. We all have done things in the past that we're not proud of, but we all just keep moving forward and just take what we learned from that
moment.
And
that
move
moment
forward.
when I knew I had that moment when in my senior year when I knew I had the same crush on the same girl. The first thing I thought to myself was, okay, how do I handle it this time? Because the thing is that like I didn't want to handle it my sophomore year because I had such a low opinion of myself from others' perspectives. Right? It's interesting to think about because it was this whole thing, it didn't really involve anyone else except for Richard because, you know, I just kind of broke down in front of him, but it was really a battle for myself because it was me saying, okay, how do I want to approach this? And this might affect how my thought process for the rest of my life because I'm about to graduate high school and most of my viewpoints are already like set in stone.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do is be like some people I know and be a little bitch about things I don't get.
Yeah. Happens.
It does. It's really unfortunate, but you know, it is the way it is. And we talked about this at the beginning of our podcast a few episodes, but like the best thing you can do is fix yourself and not worry about fixing other people. Because that's like a really big, and I still have it to this day, it's a really bad habit of worrying too much about other people and their needs and not focusing on what I need to do. And
you can always go out of your way to help other people, but you got to make sure that you
help
yourself
it's like the oxygen mask on those fucking airplanes before 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a perfect analogy.
It's a perfect analogy. Put the mask on yourself before you help anyone else because you can't help others. First you help one person. The next thing you know, I need help with the mask. Then you help that person. And then the cycle keeps going until you just die of oxygen starvation.
You can't help yourself ever at all.
Well, and if you can't even like get your own oxygen mask on, you're not going to have the strength to help other people. So you're just going to wind up screwing yourself and them over.
Think about it. It's so ironic too because in my opinion, and I might be wrong, feel free to roast me in the comment section, but in my opinion, being able to help other people but not yourself is worse than being able to help yourself but not other people. I genuinely think this. I think it's important because if you're not able to help yourself, then how can you even start to learn how to help other people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally. Also,
and that was the reason why my character sucked ass my first 2 years of high school because I had this exact mindset.
If you've made it this far in this video, please do roast him in the comments if that's what you believe, or just agree with him. Just let us know you're here and just put something in the comments if you made it.
Don't worry, he's a huge masochist. He likes it. I guarantee you.
Comment down below right now. We need retention, watch time. Just fucking let us know you're still here. That's all I ask. All we ask for.
It's gonna be a bit hard when I have to
and a big thumbs up.
I'm gonna be editing this, and I'm gonna be like, okay, so whose name drops do I have to edit out?
Exactly. I mean,
I want to
just edit out every time we refer to you, Jonathan.
We're not really done yet. There's still a couple things I want to talk about, but I want to name drop a couple of people right now who have helped me. I'm fucking stuttering. Who have helped me develop through high school, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. Number one, that's Isaac. Isaac, you probably thought I was a fucking weird ass kid when you first met me, and you know what? I was. A lot of people did. I was fucking awful. It was really bad. And the fact that you were able to, not just ignore me and actually help me, learn some of especially in orchestra, because I don't remember how many times you would try to just help me with, especially with fingerings and pitch, or just take the time to be patient with me, especially the patience part, because so many people would just fucking snap at me. But you were and patience is something that not even I have. So I want to thank you for that, because you're such a talented and humble person, and I hope you succeed, because your talent is unmatched. But also so is your ability to help others. And I think that's something that genuinely needs to be credited. Richard, hello. Thank you for being there when I was down bad both times.
Both times.
And I'm sorry that you were involved in the first incident. That was probably very traumatic, but here we are. I hope that hasn't affected your view on relationships that much.
No. I have other experience for myself. Not affect.
Come back on the podcast and talk about it. This is the molding show.
This is the molding show. I just mold here every week.
Mold. Cope
Sebastian, who goes online as Sabally Sam. I've confided with you a couple times on things, and sometimes it was easier to talk to you than Richard because you have that more naturally emotional standpoint that sometimes it's easier to communicate. It's like, and I talked to you about some of the most remedial, like trivial shit that didn't matter, but I just needed to vent because I didn't know what the fuck else to do. And obviously, I don't think I need that much venting anymore because I'm able to be here and say, oh well, how can I go about this without self-destructing? And yeah, not only Richard has helped me do that, but so have you. So thank you very much, Matthias. We haven't talked much in high school, and I understand that, but thank you for getting back into contact with me because this podcast has been probably one of the most helpful things in my entire life. Really? Going back and reminiscing on these old events. And even if it means I have to bring one of my friends in here and force it out of me, it really is helpful because I get to see the timeline of events and what brought me up to this point, and I can be like, wow, maybe I am actually better than what I was, and maybe I can continue to improve myself without needing to, just strike myself down emotionally like I really did used to back in high school. So thank you for that.
No problem. Anytime, man. And think about it this way too. Like let's say like a year passes, 2 years, and I'd assume we probably would still be doing the show. Maybe not as frequent, but maybe we will. As
long as we can.
It'll
probably end one day. All things come to an end, but as long as we can.
Yeah, I think we would keep this up for a few more years. Honestly, I don't see why this.
I don't see why it would end. Helped us. This has helped us more than it's probably helped our viewers.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, you guys are just here for the ride. Nah, but honestly, like think about it this way: like you right now, right this second, in this episode right here, this timestamp. Let's say a couple years or a year goes by, you can see how much you've improved since then just by going back to this video right here and the next episode and the one before that or whatever. You can use this as a literal timeline to keep analyzing yourself and improving thus far.
The next person I want to, probably the last, but unless I think of someone else, but the next and probably last person I want to thank is, and on a channel named Jonathing, I'm going to release an interview with this person that I made for a school project that I plan on releasing. I just haven't edited it yet because I'm so fucking lazy. But if you ever see this podcast, if I ever send it to you, I want to thank you directly, Mrs. Kingett, my high school music teacher. I want to thank you for stroking my ego. And the reason why I say that is because if you hadn't given me the incentive to continue improving and to know my strengths as a musician, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I would probably still be very down bad. Because if it wasn't for these music events, I wouldn't have had some sort of escape to collect myself and think, okay, what can I do to improve? What can I do to change myself in a way that doesn't make me look like a shithead? And, not that it matters, but, I'm surprised you didn't give me any detentions because I really did deserve them, so maybe you should stop being so nice.
Feedback.
If I think of any more when I end the podcast, I'll make sure to mention them. But that's all for right now, because I really don't like to talk about my past, and I've made that very clear in the past episodes where I let Matthias rant on and on about how things aren't going too well with his girlfriend or how things aren't going too well with college. Like he has a shitty drawing teacher, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that's pretty shitty. But I wouldn't say anything about my experiences. So. I'm sorry for doing that, but also thank you for letting me do that because
of course, it's whatever you're comfortable with. It's really
weird because I consider our friendship to be really strong and we're like the best of friends almost, but our viewpoints, our ways of thinking are so different. It's really interesting to see how they collide in this podcast.
Not always, like they are different in themselves, but like when they collide, like we think differently, but in some cases we think very similarly. It's like
it's probably how we approach situations is where we are similar.
Yeah.
But not how we think of them in the first place.
Yeah, no,
and
I agree with that.
That's also why I like to have these, I'm 14 and this is deep conversations with other guests as well to see how they think.
Literally, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Comment down below. Are you still here? Are you still alive?
Are you 14 and is this deep?
No. We don't need an answer to that one. And
I'll probably bring my roommate like either next episode or the episode after for a more lighthearted conversation because the only things we've talked about is how shit we are at writing music.
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I'm game for that next week.
Anyways,
find something
now
else
that I've gotten that out of my system because I know I would have forgotten later. The AP Music Theory arc happened, and it was probably the most impactful arc of my entire life because it changed what I wanted to do with my future. Instead of just being a programmer, which is still what I want to do, I also want to write music, and I've come to the realization that, wow, I like to write music and I want to program. I'll just try to get into the video game studio or the video game industry. So I have a clear goal of what I want to do, and that's great because so many people don't. There's so many events that came together that it was just really impactful. Oh, before I forget, I also want to thank Chris, my violin teacher in high school. You laid things out so plain, straightforward, and simple, and you didn't sugarcoat anything. Even if you thought you were, I assure you it was really helpful to the end. And I wouldn't be the violinist I am today without your help. And I'm sure that it would have been even worse if I had my current violin teacher and you weren't there to give me the technique that I needed. So thank you for that. Anyways, moving on to my senior year. Coronavirus.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah. We get the fun
my senior year was going to be the culmination of my character arc. Well, it was anyway, but it was going to be the culmination of all my experiences. I wanted to show my appreciation to Mrs. King in a way that I don't think was done before, and I also wanted to spend the most time with my friends because I knew that not all of us were going to be, going to university together until I learned that Isaac was going to JMU, of course. But but I wanted to do a couple things that were going to be really impactful and send us off on a good note. So we started the year off the first half, and it was pretty good, except for physics, which.
Dude, is that where the line when we were at the lake in 2019, which was like the beginning of your senior year and my junior year, you said something about if my AP physics teacher has taught me anything, it's this: pain exists and you will feel it.
Yes! I remember saying that.
You told me about
that. That's where I said it.
There, kind of.
Pain exists and you will feel it.
Put the clip up if we can find it. It's from an old video of mine. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, if you can find it, send it to me. But like that, I don't say it as often. I don't say it as often as I do anymore. But I really should because it's such a true quote.
It's such a good quote.
Pain exists, I love that and quote. You will feel it.
See, my favorite quote from that class was, flip up the gas pedal and pray to whatever god you think you know.
Okay. I love that too. Shit.
I don't know if I want to talk about that story, but...
Yeah, no, we don't have time for that one. But
I don't know if it's that we don't have time. It's just that I don't want to embarrass myself.
Or that too.
So I had this physics class, and this physics class was the worst class I have ever taken in my entire life, and 2 years into college, never have I had a class as terrible as this one. The teacher was stuck up, she didn't know what she was talking about, and she didn't teach anything.
This was an
AP class where we had to take a test at the end of the year, and all our tests were copy-paste from textbook material, which I didn't learn. So I was borderline failing all of the tests, and the only reason why I didn't fail is because she gave extra credit / curves on all of them.
No. Jonathan, you missed another part. She didn't pull them from the textbook. She, pulled each part from a different pay teacher's, format sheet. And so some of the stuff would be wrong. So, I remember on these tests going up and, having debates with her about why her question was wrong.
That's mad.
And before I forget, Matthias, before we end, after I'm done talking, which is going to be soon. Before I end, Richard is one of the most well-spoken people I have known in my entire life. And
really?
Listen, Richard. The reason
there's
why
a bit of hesitation in his facial response.
The reason why I say this is because we have a lot of very similar opinions, but you convey them a lot better than I ever could in a million years. So, if you have any questions for Richard when I'm done, feel free to ask them. Bully him. I don't care.
Ask in the comments too if we have you on
again. Ask in the comments,
we can
and I'll probably answer them. Maybe, I don't know, but
we can read them next time we have you on or some shit. I don't know. Just say something in the comments so we can do that. Please.
I see that hesitation in Richard's face, but fuck you. I don't care.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You're welcome. You mean so much to me.
Whoa! Oh wait, I guess this is a family. You know, we're essentially a family, right? At this point, it's been fucking years.
Honestly. All right, so we had this physics class, and it was the worst class ever. I got a 2 on the test, by the way. I don't know how. I was expecting a 1. So that was awful. And then the second semester, we had this class called composition, which was basically the result of me and a couple of other people going to the guidance office, putting them at gunpoint and saying, "We want this class, give it to us now."
Damn.
And due to that and our seniority, they gave in, they caved, and even though they lost money having that class, I don't give a shit because I hate that school anyway. So, or at least I hate the administration of that school, don't get me wrong, right? There are a lot of things about that school that I don't like, but the main thing is the administration and, fuck you. But
fair enough.
So we had that class, and it was taught by a new teacher who... It's hard to explain who this teacher is because I don't want to name drop him, but he's also such a huge integral part because he helped me as a musician too. So I'm gonna think about this. This man, I'm gonna call him David because that's his first name. I think. I think it's his first name.
I think that's his first name.
I think it's his first name. David was a pretty phenomenal cellist. He is very, very, very articulate and studious with his instrument, and he knows what he's doing. When it comes to students who are not into music, he is shit. Because the students who don't care about music are just trying to get easy A's, while he's trying to make them improve as musicians when they don't want to. So already there's an imbalance of chemistry. And this happened my freshman year, the first semester, when I had diocesan, and he was a conductor for the first day. And the chemistry was the worst. I really hated him. And he looked at me and he knew that I was shit. Like, and he said, and he literally said, "Why can't you just play this passage?" And you know what? Why couldn't I? He's right. He is. But I hated him at the time. But I met him again either my sophomore year at the second semester or my junior year. I met him again, and at that time I've already been like, oh, I've gotten a lot into violin. And when I met him again, we looked one-to-one on our music. He's such a good teacher because we connected in a way we were like, oh, we're both so passionate about this music. We can talk more about how it works, and we can talk more about how it applies to this instrument, and we can talk about the technique in a way that'll help me with my playing. And the only reason why I could do that is because we both connected on the part that we wanted to improve as musicians, and that's the reason why he got fired from the school, is because so many of the musicians at our school just wanted easy A's. So I say this about him every time, is that David would have been a phenomenal teacher if the school had an honors orchestra and an honors band. Because the honors ensembles would be for people who are actually passionate about those things. While the normal orchestra or the normal ensembles would be for people who either don't know what they're doing because they're just getting back into music after like 1 year or less of practicing, or they just want easy A's because you would have to audition to get into this orchestra anyway. He would have been great for that because students in orchestra who, even if they just listen to their conductor, they already do so much better because they have a better image of how to play and how their conducting works with the sound that they're trying to produce. So we had David for composition, and the reason why he was so good is because everyone was involved. 100%. Everyone was involved, and everyone wanted to be better composers. So right off the bat, and he taught this other class called Music Appreciation, which was, really shit for him because, no one in that class wanted to be better musicians. But in composition, everyone wanted to be better musicians. So we had a great chemistry. Unfortunately, 2 months later... All right, so on the second week of February, I had a buy like every couple months or so when the school has a school dance. I didn't attend those starting from my third year onwards. I didn't attend those, and what I did instead was host parties in their place. Parties where we just sit together, eat some food, play some Smash Bros, play some board games, whatever, you name it. We just had a good time. And we always themed our parties after some meme because we thought it was funny. So at the time, we saw, oh man, look at this epidemic in China. That's kind of funny. This is the coronavirus party.
We themed them after diseases because the first one was the potato famine.
We themed them after diseases, but I still call it coronavirus because that was the biggest meme and we all talked about it. So I called it the coronavirus party.
The coronavirus party.
I called it the coronavirus party.
That's an oxymoron. That's kind of an oxymoron.
And then not 1 week later, the school closed for the rest of the semester.
Yeah.
That's an L.
So, last episode, we talked about this theme of me cursing things. When I made the Minecraft complete analysis video, Minecraft was really dead at the time. And 1 week after I made that shit video, it had a resurgence no one could have ever believed. When on the podcast episode where I said, oh, if something interesting in my life happens, I'll talk about it maybe. And then, the week after, someone throws himself off the parking deck and kills themselves instantly. So you can imagine what would have happened when I named my party after the coronavirus and the entire world gets into fucking pandemic of the coronavirus.
Yeah. Stop talking.
It's kind of funny, though.
Kind of a big
I need to exploit this in a way that puts me in an advantageous position. Anyways.
Yeah, kind of.
Anyways, so the coronavirus hit and everything that I had planned for that entire semester fell apart. But it's okay because I still got to audition for my colleges and I got in. And the thing about the coronavirus is that if it wasn't for the coronavirus, I probably wouldn't have gotten back into contact with Bailey. Who I also want to shout out in this video because even though we don't have any, really deep talks, we don't have any 14 this is deep talks, not at all, but you just being friends with you, just talking to you, just having a lot of really good conversations and just playing around with Java programming with Minecraft and just other things on Discord. They were all a lot of fun, and they've really helped me. They've really helped me cope, especially back when I was 15 and down bad because Richard was getting traumatized. Friends
for years.
Yeah, it's been since it's been since
8th or
5.5 years. It's been 5.5 years since the end of 8th grade. So I've been friends with Bailey for a very long time. So if you're watching, Bailey, just know that even though we don't really talk that much about this kind of random shit, I appreciate you. Thank you. So I got back into contact with Bailey, and I got back into programming, which really helped because the next semester I started college, and I had to all of a sudden start programming again because that's my second major. So the fact that I had a lot more, the fact that I had practice in the programming made that part of getting into college a lot easier. Because I've done programming for a lot longer than music ever. I've done programming for 10 years now, Java specifically. And most of the classes here are taught in Java. So all the projects are a breeze for me. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had, because I had taken a break from Java for 2 to 3 years before the coronavirus. If it wasn't for the coronavirus, I wouldn't have gotten back into contact with Bailey and John Lashney, or Lockney, or however you say his name. And I wouldn't have been able to work on mod the game because, modding video games is really important for developers because it gives that initial spark for making video games in the future. So that was really important for me. even though I wish the coronavirus never happened, I wouldn't have taken away that aspect of my life. So
that's totally valid. Fair, valid.
Richard, unless I have forgotten something that you would like to address, unless there's something really incriminating that I should bring up now, nothing?
No, I'm really trying. There's a lot, but I need to think of something good.
Yeah, think of something good. Maybe one or two things.
I don't... gosh dang it, putting me on the spot here. No, I don't know too much of what to think about. If I'm trying to think of things that embarrass you or otherwise.
So whatever.
I mean, we've already talked about both the down bad funnies at this point. So.
Yeah, no, I need like inspiration for my insults. But. No, I can't think of too much. I mean, there's a ton there that I could go on. Like, we had the fire alarm during the AP music theory test.
Oh! Okay. So in the middle of our AP music theory exam, there's this one part of the music theory exam called sight reading. And that's where you read a piece of music right then and there, and you have to sing it as accurately as you can, and it's 10% of the grade. So right after the first person went, the second person, I think it was Richard, was about to go when someone pulled the fucking fire alarm.
Amazing.
If Richard had started even like 10 seconds earlier, the scores would have been canceled and we would have lost all progress. Because that was how test protocol worked.
What? That's fucked
So that was simultaneously lucky and unlucky at the same time.
No, it was so stupid.
And, our mutual friend Mike, decided to go screaming in the hallways, saying, "I'm gonna kill him! Whoever threw the fire alarm, I'm gonna kill him!"
Damn.
And then
right in the hallway.
Shut up! And he was like, "What are you saying?"
She said, "Excuse me, come here right now."
Oh no.
Come here right now.
That sounds fucking embarrassing.
Mike, if you're watching this, I don't know if he'll ever watch this because we've lost contact. But Mike, if you ever see this video, I miss you. You were great. You were great because your comedic timing was so impeccable.
Even when you didn't want it.
Even when you didn't mean it.
Shout out to this guy.
So that happened. We also had the fire alarm go off during one of our New York trips when Richard, in his sleepwalking, woke me up and said, "Hey, we gotta go." Well, he's like still fucking asleep. He was like, "We gotta go." So I'm waking up. I was like, "What the fuck is that? The fire alarm?"
What?
This man doesn't check to see if I'm actually awake. He takes it for granted, leaves. I wake up in the room. Fire alarm still going off. Totally bewildered. Having one question in my mind.
The reason why I didn't wake you up is because I was still asleep. I was like, all I heard was, "We gotta go." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going, I guess." And then as I'm going down the stairs, I realize it clicks in my head. Shit.
No, I literally wake up standing in a room, so I was already confused. But the only thought on my mind was, fuck, I need to find a belt. My pants are falling off.
Well, that honestly would come first.
Well, what's even funnier is that we were the last ones to leave because we all slept through the first 5 minutes of the alarm.
Fair enough.
And some of our friends were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Oh my god!
Can't blame you.
Gosh. It's because some wedding party was smoking weed in the second story.
Was, smoking weed.
But they didn't open the window. They didn't want to open the window, so they just triggered the fire alarm.
Oh, for real, bro.
Fucking bunch of morons. If you're gonna smoke weed, at least open the window, or God forbid you do it outside.
Take that shit outside, dog.
Oh man! So we had the fire alarms of the music theory exam and the New York trip. We covered all of my really awful traumatic experiences that I never want to bring up again because I didn't. No. I cringe every time I think of. I cringe every time I look at those because every time I think of my high school self prior to junior year, I want to like literally beat him up, like physically.
Damn. I mean,
that's how much I hate. That's how much I hate my past self. This is why I never talk about this stuff.
Well,
but then I thought when I had this thought, I was like, you know what? This could be funny. Maybe I'll bring Richard into the podcast and we can talk about high school years. And I was like, you know what? This had to happen eventually. It really did.
It did. It really did. We're gonna get the Jonathing backstory eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna get the full.
There's more that we could talk about. But
there's more. I could talk about middle school, but I'd have to grab someone from middle school, and
that's another episode.
There's only one person I know from middle school that I still talk to today, and that's going to be an interesting conversation because, man, we have changed so much, and it's going to be so weird looking back on middle school. It's Alvio, by it's Richard. Richard, if you don't know, it's Alvio, by the way.
Oh, it's Alvio. All right. Just gonna open up. The first premise is gonna be fishes. You're gonna spend like fishes. A full hour of the podcast on fishes.
It's gonna be fishes.
Lord
knows what that means, but anyway.
No, it means literally fishes. The man loves fishes.
He's obsessed with fishes. I think at one point he was doing like marine biology.
Oh damn! Some Bass Pro Shop type shit.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. We and like don't get me wrong, guys. Like I'm like doing so much better nowadays. Like all this like traumatic shit. Like it hasn't. Like I mean, of course it did when I was still in high school, but like it hasn't really affected my view on like people or relationships at all. Like it's fine. It's just it's so interesting to talk about these things now because I have such a different perspective. It's like whoa, this happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
Any
imagine.
Final questions before we? Man, this has been a long one, but it's been a good one. So I'll put. 100%. I think for this one I'll put timestamps in the description for topics because I should start doing that more often. If people want to cut to the part where I start mauling about my ex-girlfriend when I was 15 years old, they can just straight up do that.
Hell yeah! Thanks for that one. Box Program Thoughts Live team.
Me.
That's the comments.
Literally
talking.
That's the comments. Yeah. Thank you for highlighting the part when Jonathing was at his worst. But
yeah.
Anyways,
no problem.
Are there any final questions from either you, Richard, or you, Matt, Barry, Matthias?
When are we getting Alex?
I want to get Alex. I want to get Alex probably soon, but he's busy. We'll talk. I'll text him about it.
All right. Well, we got to do that TIH reunion. Maybe we could wait for that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit after things have calmed down on my end with the
because we got to do finish this little arc, then do the EMC arc with Raj, Blue Pot, Ace, fucking Fractured, Shady.
I want to get Jacob
Cubs, all these motherfuckers, and then Jacob, Arcane Physics.
I'll try and get John in if he wants to talk about the Jelly Squid incident. I'll try.
Tie that arc up with the little knot if we want.
I'll try and get John in. John Lashley, not any John you know, Richard.
And I figured. We gotta see about that grilled cheese gaming reunion.
I don't know how to contact any of them. I really don't.
Really? You don't have any of them? Wow.
If I can find one of them, like I will be down for it. But like, I was like actually so like severely autistic in middle school.
Don't worry, Jonathan.
I'm gonna be so embarrassed talking to them.
I'm gonna hunt down your grilled cheese gaming videos.
Hunt them down.
You won't have to look far. If you search grilled cheese gaming on YouTube, it's like the third result.
Nice.
It won't take long before you find my cringy Binding of Isaac videos. You will hate them all, and you'll hate me more as a person. You will. I guarantee it.
I need to make like a compilation of Jonathing's cringiest moments.
True, cringiest moments.
You will. It won't be hard to find. It won't be hard to find.
It won't be. No, it'll be a long compilation.
Any questions from either of you before we close?
Not really. I think that's it. It's been good shit.
I'm still so embarrassed about all of this.
Awesome. Right. You gotta
We've all done shit. We've all been through shit.
Well, I mean, I've been bullying Richard this whole podcast about my ex-girlfriend hitting on him. So
don't worry. We're all stupid. We all were stupid. We're still stupid. We're just less stupid.
I would like to hope that I'm much less stupid now.
You definitely
and I mean, like,
are.
you know, if you can take away anything, is that, like, I used to be shit at the violin, but in the span of, like, 3 years, I got, like, at least somewhat good, so...
No, you got a lot better.
If you want to pick up violin but have no idea what you're doing, just, you know, get a teacher. If they click with you, there you go. You know, don't underestimate what you think could potentially be your passion. Don't.
Exactly, and keep moving forward, because you can only go up from here. You can only keep growing, and before you know it, the shitty things about your past or shitty things that you used to do will be a distant memory.
So Richard, I don't know if I've ever made you watch one of our episodes before, but
you gave me I watched a few of them.
Okay, so the way we usually end these is that we talk about something really fucked, and then we all laugh about it, and then I fade it away.
Nice.
So what should we talk about this time? I've talked about the suicides on my
genocide.
Yeah. Genocide. All right, so let's talk about genocide.
No, probably not good. Probably not.
I don't know what you want to talk about.
Oh my god!
I was just spitballing. Fuck, I don't know.
Honestly, like I'm still like I said. Every time I look back, I'm like I'm having a Richard level seizure right here. Like, it's
a whole new level. It's a
maybe
Richard
that's
level.
The fuck thing then. Just looking back on that shit.
Me having a seizure.
Richard
that's
having
not
a
what
seizure.
I meant, but...
Yeah, Richard having a seizure, right?
And then we just fade out.
Yeah, just fade
out. I forget how the song goes. That's it. It's done. What? Why are you... What are you... Wait, are you playing it?
Yeah.
Can you play the song right now?
Let me see if I can find the chord.
Are you just trying to play Megalovania? Oh, no, okay.
He's trying to play our theme music. You kind of got it. Ah, fucking damn it. You fucking ripped my ass.
I saw that one coming a mile away.
Fuck.